high and low method. The high and low method is a simple trick that will help you to determine where your motive or corrective wave starts. You can expect to see the motive phase in the direction of the larger trend and the corrective phase in the opposite direction against the larger trend. All you need to do when using this method is to open a blank chart of the instrument you want to analyze and find a strong reversal point. Best way to determine a good trend is going to be to open at least the daily chart and after that find the current trend and starting point of that trend. Small tip: the best way to find the trend is to step a few meters away from your desktop and see if price is moving up or down. If you can see a clear trend from a few meters away, you're always going to be right. In the event that you are not sure, just move to the next chart. This is the chart of the Euro-Yen on the weekly time frame, where we can see that price is moving in the uptrend. So we are going to use the lowest point that we could find on this chart as our strong turning point. Another example, this is the dollar CAD on the monthly chart. And we can see that price is pushing higher. And we are going to use the lowest point in this chart that we could find as our strong turning point. So you don't pick up price movements from the middle, you pick up the real starting point of your current trend. After you determine the turning point, you need to ask yourself a simple question. From the turning point up until the current move, what kind of move do I see? Motive or corrective? So try to determine if a move is sharp and strong or choppy and slow. If you see a sharp move, you're going to use motive to determine your answer, and if you see a choppy move, you are going to use corrective. Here is how a strong and sharp move looks like, and here is an example how choppy movements look like on the chart. Now let's get back to our two charts where we found strong turning points, and let's see what kind of the moves you see on them. In the Euro-Yen chart, we found the strong turning point, so we need to ask ourselves, what kind of move does the move from the strong turning point till the current market price look to us? Does this look motive or corrective? And I would probably say motive, because we had a strong uptrend and there was not so much overlapping movements. So your option right now would be to go and try to find which of the four patterns that we covered from the motive phase would fit the best this structure over here. So you know if the 5-way move is complete and you should see a potential trend change, or we are still having a room to see more bullish movements above the highs. Same thing on the next chart. We found a strong turning point and now we need to check how does this move look to us. Motive or corrective? Over here, movements look strong, but if you can see, we only have 3 waves inside, so I would rather go with a corrective instead of motive. So what would you do now would be to go and see which pattern from the corrective group could you fit over here. Ideally, I think this would be some sort of a zigzag, but you need to go and check that for yourself, because you need to check all the rules later on. Never try to think about this for too long. The best option would be to limit yourself to 15 seconds to answer a question, or else move to the next chart. The first answer that comes to your mind is usually the right, but you also need to check the rules according to the pattern you spot on the chart. For example, if you see a motive phase, you're going to check all 3 rules of the motive phase group. Only if all are valid, you should move to the next step.